everybody, welcome to Forward. We are a new type of doctor's office. Now, we don't offer any preventative care, and we don't have any world-class doctors. But one of the cool parts about Forward is that there's no waiting time, and we don't charge on copays. So deal with it. This one, that was just like something that consistently popped up in my mind, just the idea of something like that exact thing, like a little text car that's a hearse. And all you need is a long car with one of those. That's it, and everybody and people know it's a hearse. When I first thought of it, I didn't really know how to 3D model well. You know, years go by, and I'm like, well, should I try it? That seems like a lot of work. And I'm like, well, I'll try it once. And then you see the physical thing in front of you. I was able to model it, I was able to print it. And then the little tiny, the best parts, oh yeah, you see the license plate? So it has a license plate on it. It's got the little, like the little vinyl printed logos, because we're connected to a vinyl shop, so we can print vinyl, and it's got a nice little, what is this? Oh, where'd the grill go? Man, I gotta have them print more grills. And actually, I'll share with you the video that made it hit. Okay, so this is a hearse, this is a coffin, that's a prison visitation booth, that's a pillory.
What's a pillory?
It's like where you hit your arms through there and your head through there. It's like a torture. This is an ashtray, that's a walk the plank, this is another coffin, and this is a solitary confinement.
Oof.
Something that was like a little bit more of an adult thing to think about, to work with. Maybe something difficult to think about, but it's real. But then mixed with like the joy of, you know, being a child and having a toy. Like this one is like, remember when you were born? Remember when you're gonna die? And what does that do? Like, I like being morbidly curious. Helps me like deal with things better. And it helps children, you know, if this is a real toy, it helps children prepare, you know. So these turtles here, it's 2-part like epoxy resin, or that I make a rubber mold of that, and then I just mix 2 parts epoxy with a little green pigment. And then what we'll do, since that toy is a sandbox, give him a little bag of sand. That's enough. We don't want that postage to be too high. Just kidding. So they get a little bag of sand. These are ashtrays. The sand is great because you can ash into this. This is not a thermoplastic, everybody. This is not. So you can ash. You've seen plastic ashtrays, but they do burn, you know. They don't start a fire, you know, God help. But you can put the sand in it and then ash in the sand. Isn't that fun? I never thought in my wildest dreams that I'd be selling ashtrays. But this is the Factory NYC. It's their facility. So it's owned by artists. So it's owned by people who like have a keen understanding of aesthetic and taste. And everybody that works here is very skilled at what they do. We can do scenic. We can just build you walls if you want. But we can also like high-end it. We've made some really high-end like permanent sculptures, permanent furniture, woodworking. The company is also like eclectic. I'm pretty eclectic, but that's why it works. That's why I work here. This scooter needs new batteries. I'm writing down how much power they have left in them, whether or not this one I'm gonna throw the fuck away. Right in the can. Actually, I'll do one for you right now. This is a charged battery. Okay. Put that in there, and then I'll press OK again. We'll see. Oh, is this one dead? Might be able to check the other one. Like full on dead. Okay, 4.16, that's about good. Another one. Whatever. I had a scooter and I'm like, I should probably build a battery for it, because a battery is like hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and I didn't want to spend that. That's why people steal scooters, because of the batteries.
Man, like, what do you call yourself? Like, how'd you get into it?
I don't fucking know. It's, oh gosh. Making these batteries is a byproduct of me having gained the knowledge over some time to not feel intimidated by it. So I was able to think about making a battery and seeing that as like a fun project. It's like, oh, this only cost me $250. Yeah, it cost me also like 20 or 30, hours, probably all told up. But like, it's also, doing this is like more meditative than like watching, The Real Housewives or something. Yeah, it's just like, I really can't be bothered with that stuff. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, first of all, would you like a nut? Whoa! I'm born on April Fool's Day, so I have so many whoopee cushions. Because if I didn't have a sense of humor, then that would be like April Fool's. That would be the joke. A lot of the result of my work is because we've had to like R&D, like, is this possible? So this is kind of an example of, you start with like a normal hand, right? Well, we can make it thinner. We can make it really, really, really thick. And there's nothing wrong with that if you have thick fingers. We don't mind them. You can do a little R&D at work and still make it something that's like not just a dumb item. You can have a little class with it, and just to show people what you can do, but also make something that like it's worth to keep around. We have this. This is a 3D printer that can print, like, it could print 6 feet tall and 5 feet wide, 4 feet deep, roughly. If I had a 3D scan of you and imagined you to be 6 feet tall, on like low quality, we could print that in like probably 6 or 7 hours. So it's a very rigid acrylic plastic, which is that. And that's actually the size of the. There's a guy who is named Robert Wadlow. He was 8 feet 11 inches. That's how big his hand was. It's the largest hand ever. This is one of the owners, Paul, and that's him, his head, on the other owner's baby's body. It's just weird. He looks like a baby football player who's like, hut, hut. So I keep him up there so I don't have to look at him all the time. It's pretty mesmerizing. This was the first like stupid prototype of that. This is how he figured it out. I had a bellows. I just went, oh, up. Oh. That's it. Like, I was just walking around and I was like, that's pretty cool. This was my first, this whole thing that blew up was just like my first foray into sculpture. It's about being able to say goodbye and to move on to whatever is next. Because what's next is I'll let the kids grow up, and then maybe along the way I'll think of something, different.